There are few musical acts in history that have achieved the enduring global impact of ABBA. Known for their infectious melodies, dazzling costumes, and unmistakable harmonies, the group transcended generations and trends. At the core of this phenomenon stood Benny Andersson, a musical visionary whose compositions became the backbone of ABBA's identity. His ability to craft melodies that resonated across cultures helped transform a Swedish pop group into an international sensation. This is not just the story of a band, but of creativity, collaboration, and emotional depth that continues to echo decades later. Early life, a childhood shaped by music. Benny Andersson was born on December 16, 1946, in Stockholm, Sweden, into a family deeply connected to music. His father and grandfather introduced him to the accordion at a young age, laying the foundation for his lifelong passion. Surrounded by traditional Swedish folk tunes, Benny quickly developed an ear for melody. As he grew older, he taught himself piano, expanding his musical range and experimenting with different styles. Influenced by rock and roll, especially the energy of artists like Elvis Presley, he began to imagine a future dedicated entirely to music. A bold decision, choosing music over convention. At just 15 years old, Benny made the bold decision to leave school and pursue music full-time. This was a risky path, especially in a world where stability was often prioritized over artistic ambition. However, his talent and determination quickly began to pay off. He joined a popular Swedish pop band in the 1960s, where his songwriting skills stood out almost immediately. While others focused on performance, Benny was already shaping the musical direction, crafting melodies that hinted at the brilliance he would later bring to a global audience. A fateful meeting, the birth of a legendary partnership. In 1966, Benny's life changed forever when he met Björn Ulvaeus. The connection between the two musicians was immediate and powerful. They shared a deep understanding of melody, harmony, and storytelling through music. What began as a friendship quickly evolved into one of the most successful songwriting partnerships in pop history. Together, they wrote songs that combined emotional depth with commercial appeal. This partnership would soon expand, setting the stage for something far greater than either of them could have imagined at the time. The formation of ABBA, voices that defined an era. The collaboration took a transformative turn when Agnetha Fältskog and Annie Frid Lyngstad joined forces with Benny and Björn. Their voices brought a new dimension to the music, adding richness, contrast, and emotional nuance. The idea of a mixed vocal group was still relatively fresh, and their chemistry, both musical and personal, was undeniable. After experimenting with different styles and even different group names, they eventually became ABBA. This marked the beginning of a journey that would redefine pop music and establish them as global icons. Breakthrough, moment, Waterloo, and global fame. ABBA's breakthrough came in 1974 when they won the Eurovision Song Contest with Waterloo. The song's vibrant energy, catchy chorus, and theatrical performance captivated audiences across Europe and beyond. It was more than just a victory. It was the moment the world took notice. From there, the group's popularity skyrocketed. They began producing hit after hit, each song showcasing Benny's melodic genius and the group's unique sound. The success of Waterloo opened the floodgates to international fame and set the stage for a decade of dominance. The golden years, a legacy of timeless hits. Throughout the 1970s, ABBA released a string of iconic songs that remain beloved to this day. Tracks like Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, Fernando, and The Winner Takes It All became anthems of their era. Benny's compositions were central to this success, blending pop sensibilities with emotional storytelling. The group's music was both joyful and introspective, allowing listeners to connect on multiple levels. Their ability to balance commercial success with artistic integrity made them one of the best-selling pop acts in history, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire. Behind the spotlight, love and heartbreak. While ABBA's public image chill glamorous and joyful, their private lives were far more complex. The group was built not only on musical collaboration, but also on romantic relationships. As fame grew, so did the pressures of touring, recording, and constant public attention. These pressures began to strain their personal connections. Agnetha and Bjorn divorced in 1979, followed by Benny and Frida in 1981. Despite their professionalism and commitment to the music, the emotional toll of these separations began to influence their work in profound ways. A darker tone, the final album. ABBA's final studio album, released in 1981, reflected the emotional turbulence within the group. The songs carried a more mature and introspective tone, exploring themes of heartbreak, loss, and disillusionment. Benny's compositions during this period showcased a deeper emotional complexity, moving beyond the upbeat pop sound that had defined their earlier work. While the album was critically acclaimed, it also signaled the end of an era. By 1982, the group quietly stepped away, leaving fans uncertain but deeply appreciative of the music they had created. Life after ABBA. New creative paths. After ABBA disbanded, Benny and Bjorn continued to collaborate, finding new success in musical theater. Their projects demonstrated that their songwriting brilliance extended beyond pop music. Meanwhile, Agnetha and Frida pursued individual paths, often facing personal challenges away from the spotlight. Despite the separation, the impact of ABBA's music only grew stronger over time. Their songs found new audiences, appearing in films, stage productions, and countless covers. Benny's influence as a composer remained as strong as ever, proving that true artistry transcends any single chapter. A remarkable reunion. The return of ABBA. For decades, the idea of an ABBA reunion seemed impossible. However, in 2021, the group reunited to release a new album, proving that their connection had never truly faded. The project was met with global excitement and emotional resonance. It wasn't just about nostalgia, it was about rediscovering a bond that had survived time, distance, and personal challenges. Their return reminded the world of the magic that happens when creative minds come together with authenticity and passion, even after years apart. Enduring bonds, music, memory, and legacy. In later years, moments of reunion and shared appearances revealed the depth of connection that still existed among the members. These moments spoke of forgiveness, mutual respect, and enduring friendship. Benny, now in his late 70s, continues to be celebrated as a musical genius whose work has shaped generations. ABBA's story is ultimately one of resilience, of relationships tested but not broken, and of music powerful enough to outlast time itself. Conclusion. A story that lives on. ABBA's journey is far more than a tale of pop success. It is a deeply human story of love, ambition, heartbreak, and creative brilliance. At its heart stands Benny Andersson, whose melodies became the soundtrack of millions of lives. Together with his collaborators, he created something timeless, music that continues to bring people together across cultures and generations. Decades later, their legacy remains stronger than ever, proving that great music does not fade. It evolves, resonates, and lives on, carrying its story forward with every note.